Hey everyone, welcome to a little bit of woo woo. I'm your host, Jill Thomas. I am a psychic channel. I am also a hypnotherapist. So I kind of come in with this with a little bit different set of experience than some of the others. Nothing wrong with that. I wanted to talk today about all those little UFO drones, which I usually when I tune into that kind of stuff, because a lot of times people ask me about that. Generally, what I usually see is it says one of ours, and we don't need to worry about it, and we're never really going to know. But in this case, I thought it was really interesting because I did feel like this might actually be interplanetary beings. And as a hypnotherapist, I have done a lot of work in past life regression therapy. And a lot of times when you're doing a past life regression, we do go into a lifetime where we were an interplanetary being, where we weren't a human. And so I have a little bit different sort of take on this. I will also say all of us who do this work, and you guys have seen these videos, I know you're watching more than just mine, because I am. We all have little different sets of experience and a different interpretation of what we're seeing. I want you to understand the most important interpretation here is yours, and that what you're seeing and feeling is very valid. Personally, I'm not afraid of it. I also have never had a bad experience. I lived when I was younger in life. I lived in a place in Arkansas where there were quite a few UFO sightings on a fairly regular basis, and people would talk about it. Ranchers would be super, super mad because they would lose cattle, and that's a great deal of money for them. But I'm fairly comfortable with openly talking about it. So I feel like it's really interesting how now the news is reporting these things and they didn't used to. I feel like that's kind of intentional. I also feel like programs like Ancient Aliens, lots of these little disclosure type programs have gotten us more and more comfortable with the idea that there are other beings out there that we don't really necessarily need to be afraid of, although some of them are very scary. I will just say that feels also very intentional. Like later on in the next 5 to 10 years, we may be seeing and having a much more open communication with interplanetary beings. People might call them aliens. I would also say that when I've done past life regression therapy and somebody has come in and who was from another planet in another lifetime, generally speaking, it's observation, it's about guidance, it's about support, it's about trying to protect the planet itself. Not usually, I've never seen anybody that came through that had a negative interpretation or a negative agenda. That's not what I've seen. I'm not saying there isn't beings like that. I'm sure there are, but that's not what I feel like this is either. I feel like our government does know what it's about. I feel like they are in communication with the governments. I don't think it's just us. I also feel like they're probably never going to tell us the whole story, and they're probably not ever going to be completely honest. That comes as, I'm sure, a surprise to no one. My point here is that we're not going to have all the answers. There's going to be a lot of discussions behind closed doors. I don't feel like there's anything here to be afraid of. I think it's more amusing. Obviously, if they wanted to cause harm, they could have done that fairly easily without really even trying. So I'm just going to enjoy, hearing about it on the news, which I find very unusual because we never heard about it on the mainstream media before. Look for them in my skies and enjoy the ride. I will also say you just don't need to be caught up in this kind of thing. Allow it to be amusing. It's a sort of enjoyment for the holidays. It's a nice distraction from all of the other things in the news that are very scary. And my first thought when I saw this was perhaps it was, sometimes the news cycle focuses on, thing over here, squirrel, so that we're not focused on the thing that they don't want us to be looking at. I don't feel like that's the case here. I do feel like it came as a surprise even to our own government. I also feel like it may not stick around for all that long. It might be kind of like what happened with the Arizona lights a few years ago, where it was only just for a few months. And then, it went away and we didn't hear about it. So I feel like it could be something like that happening. But again, that's my interpretation. And, allow yourself to be in a place of feeling how you feel. Think about how you feel about it and enjoy watching these things in the sky if you see them. I haven't seen them, but I did see video of it and I thought it was really interesting. I got to tell you. Okay. So on a personal note, StreamYard, which is the company that you're seeing this video on right now, just almost doubled my price to about $900 a year. So I know you guys, I saw you guys watching make these videos. Can you tell me who I should switch to? Because I'm just not going to pay that. I'm just saying, not going to pay that. Anyway, I would love to hear in the comments if you guys have a suggestion on that. Of course, I could Google it, but then I'm going to get a lot of sponsored ads. And of course, that may not be the most accurate information. Would love to hear about it from somebody who's actually doing this work. Thanks so much, guys. I'm going to be working on my 2025 video probably today, actually, and it'll be up in a couple of days. So looking forward to that. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Bye.